Imagine being this bitch, right? Sara Thornton, somebody of significant prominence, but I can't really get to the bottom of who she is because A, it's a pretty common name, and B, you'll see why we don't have any more follow-up tweets. But at the same time, this person reads as somebody who probably has at least 8 vaccines at this point, probably wears her mask to the shower, yet she has the audacity to ride the public rails and want everybody else to follow her same sycophantic, narcissistic worldview and live in abject misery at all times. But this absolute Chad right here, Sara Thornton, asked him politely to wear a mask, completely refusing, whatever that is, a railway company. Says he's not exempt, but doesn't have to / want, and it's optional. God bless. God bless. How unbelievably selfish. Zero self-awareness. Said he's fine about me tweeting his picture. It's all so awful. He knows I'm upset, but he couldn't care less. That dude right there is a fucking boss, and how more people should be living their life from now on. You caught a lot of people slipping, government. Just speaking about government in general, with all their mask mandates there over the past year. You caught us slipping. You put it out there, but can't be catching us again. Can't be allowing the Sara Thorntons of the world out there. You know what? Obviously, she was so traumatized by this event that she had to lock her Twitter account, so I couldn't even go back and figure out. She's tweeted a whole bunch, 15,700 tweets that are out there. I'm sure a whole bunch of them are probably about the vice and virtues that she extols to the masses and to those who don't get the jab are just a blight on society and should be euthanized. But yeah, sucks to suck, bitch. But how about a little bit more civil disobedience? Something that I think people should be pushing for a lot more going forward, because boy howdy are we not going to be going back to the tyranny that we have been wrought under for the past year and a half. I think Chad Train Taker's probably a good example. And then we got to look to, I don't know, high school kids from Boston as another example of people who are just fed up. And it's a sad state where high school kids are acting as the moral bellwether for society, in between taking degenerate TikTok videos or posting selfies to Instagram. No, they were on a flight, supposed to be going down to the Bahamas, a big old class trip or something, a graduation present or trip of sorts. And yeah, they weren't going to be wearing masks on the flight because most of the flight was just all them. They've all got the poke, or maybe they follow the actual science. I realized that, you know what, them having an adverse experience on the flight was highly to incredibly unlikely. So yeah, they just told everybody on board to go fuck themselves, and they will not be wearing a mask. A group of more than 30 teens from Boston refused to wear face masks on the plane to the Bahamas on Monday, forcing American Airlines to cancel the flight. Sorry for the people who were inconvenienced, but civil disobedience like this, I'm not going to call them a bunch of mask holes. I think that they were doing the right thing in this. We need to set a precedent where we will not be contained by these fucking private companies. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, well, guess what? Your passengers, the people who paid to be on the plane, the people that allow you to fly those fucking planes, well, to be fair, they'll just get bailed out by the government over and over again. So, at which point, you gotta think that certain HIPAA laws got to apply, but hey, we're digging a little bit too far into this. It's my private company, and my private customers can do whatever they want. And isn't the old adage, the customer's always right? It was bad. First, they were yelling, they were cursing, they were being very obnoxious. Witness Malika Banks, some fucking African-American Karen. American Airlines Flight 893 was set to depart Charlotte at 9:30 a.m. Monday when a mechanical issue forced flyers to switch planes. High school students began acting up and boarding the second jet, as high school students do. It wasn't all of them, Banks recounted. I would say 75 to 80% of them were being terrible kids saying smart stuff. I concur. The flight was canceled altogether. Aww. American Airlines acknowledged the incident and said the trip was delayed until Tuesday, the station reported. Yep, and they took off because it had nothing to do with the kids. The kids were just making a scene. Anyways, put a little pin in that. We'll come back to it in a moment. All they had to do was follow the rules. Put on a mask, sit there, no smart mouth comments. Another ticked off Karen, Christina Randolph, and they couldn't do it. These are all of the people pushing all these mandates, by the way. If people were more like these high school kids, I can't believe I'm praising them, but it is 2021 after all, and everything's flip reverse on its fucking head at this point. More kids like the high school students, and less like Christina and Malik saying just follow the rules, just keep your head down, wear a mask. Fuck off. Adults stranded as a result of the shenanigans received hotel vouchers. Yes, so go ahead, Fox. Just try to play up all of their fucking sorrows that they had to undertake because of this horrific act of civil disobedience. But age rules for hotel bookings forced the teens to spend an uncomfortable night at the airport. Yeah, so because of a mechanical failure, the kids had to spend the night in the fucking airport. FAA investigating Bahama-bound flight delayed by teen mask rebellion. Au contraire, mon frere. The FAA is investigating the Bahama-bound American Airlines flight delayed on Monday by rowdy teens who refused to wear a mask. Congratulations. As the Boston area group's program provider claimed most of the kids did nothing wrong, and recent high school grads from Winthrop, Massachusetts made smart-mouth comments to flight attendants when asked to mask up, according to witnesses. But program organizer Breakaway Beach claims the airline falsely blamed the entire group for the single student's refusal to mask up. No, you're telling me Karens blew a situation totally out of proportion? I am fucking shocked by this one. The group was treated in an improper and overly harsh manner, causing unnecessary stress and aggravation to travelers and their parents from afar, Weiner said in a statement to CNN. The act of one individual is not the responsibility of others, and the students were abiding by the rules. I should not have to endure this type of treatment. Jean Holgerson, sounds like a fun lady, whose son was among the group of 47 recent graduates from Winthrop High School, told WHDH the teens became upset after their peer had been kicked off the flight because they saw a woman walk to the bathroom without a mask. Imagine that. Female privilege. As soon as they walked away, some woman walked to the bathroom without a mask, Holgerson said. So now the kids got a little bit upset. How can she? And this is at the point they might have got a little rowdy, so no one swore. They were still respectful. But then, like I referenced a couple of times here, yeah, it turns out that there are actually some receipts on this one. Tour organizer says graduates from Boston area high school were wrongly blamed for delaying an American Airlines flight and causing all of those goddamn disaffected people out there, all of their problems. That was the plane fucking up. Go figure. Tour organizer said Wednesday that American Airlines wrongly punished 47 recent high school students from Boston area heading to the Bahamas for an action of one teenager who refused to wear a face mask, and that the airline failed to treat the students properly after the flight delays caused by airline itself. The trip was organized by Breakaway Beach. Don't care. American Airlines said Tuesday that passengers who declined to identify by age were non-compliant with the federal mask mandate, became disruptive to the customers, and refused to follow crew members' instructions while on board, which we've seen spottily enforced throughout the past year. In a statement Wednesday, the airline acknowledged that there was a 2-hour delay caused by maintenance issues and said passengers had been required to exit one plane and go onto another gate to board a second plane. In the end, the flight left almost 24 hours behind schedule, with all members of the group allowed to board plane. They agreed to follow regulations, according to American Airlines. According to Eugene Weiner, president of Breakaway, the flight was delayed at Charlotte Airport in North Carolina because of a mechanical problem, forcing passengers to spend about 2 hours on the aircraft without a functioning ventilation system. During this time, and imagine that Fox left this one out because Fox News is not your friend. During this time, some passengers, including the students, may have removed masks due to there being no air conditioning/ventilation. Quite unbearable conditions. You could imagine sitting out on the fucking tarmac in Charlotte in fucking July. Shit might have been a touch unbearable. So yeah, I don't want to take away from the one or hell, maybe even 47 kids that were being civilly disobedient and the bravery that they showed. I think that's fair. If we're going to go ahead and call Representative Andy Kim, at least some segment, a fucking hero for picking up a couple of plastic water bottles, I'll call some kids who didn't want to fucking just bend the knee and wear the mask heroes. I think that'll be fair. They stood up for what they thought was right. A bunch of Karens complained. They ended up getting their way. But then at the end of the day, it looks like there's a little bit more to that story. Sucks to suck, Karens. Looks like you guys got your fucking comeuppance after all. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Catch y'all later.